And here is the Ontario Police, gang stalking by helicopter. Criminal summoning at 313 West G Street is also the Ontario Police gang stalking in the specific environment. The impossible light activity that I'm showing you, the Ontario International Airport deviating by stalking in the sky space with the Ontario Police Department is the same pattern of conduct. And this is again on a nightly basis, the entity gang stalking. This is audible activity and relevant positioning. And this is criminal stalking by the police department. And it is in concert with the people of the state. It is pursuant to criminal monitoring, a violation of Title 18, Section 226(1)(a), subsections 1 and 2, while the Ontario Police Department are gang stalking using police vehicles as well. The entity is doing is engaging in the pattern of conduct in the specific environment. So this is again the impossible light activity. My multiple shadows are on the floor and upright at a distance. They're monitoring using helicopters as well. The Ontario Police gang stalking in conformity to a documented pattern of conduct by corrupt law enforcement agencies in California, maintaining criminal surveillance and harassment and terrorism by helicopter. It's currently 10:22 p.m. And the entity is engaging in the pattern of conduct and doing so with the people of the state. This is what the entity is doing under the fake sun during the day. And this is what the entity is doing with regard to being disbanded as a corrupt police department. This is in concert with the people of the state. So I want to be clear. Nathan Morgan on May 29, 2025 is gang stalking just like you see here with helicopter. This is the Ontario Police engaging in criminal surveillance and domestic terrorism of an American citizen while they know that that American citizen is documenting it. They're engaged in obstruction of justice on my YouTube channel, rendering my published video of them gang stalking by podcast, making them private when I make them public, and they're engaging in what is this demonic pacing, flying in circles over the top of my head. And this is a documented pattern everywhere that I'm at. It's not a coincidence. Last night they're engaged in gang stalking, flying over me, gang stalking in the specific environment by helicopter. We're also the city of Ontario. There's no airport that is reconciling why they're taking off from, and by taking off, rising in elevation, concentrating on plane activity right here. It's the same thing with regard to concentrating helicopter activity over me. When I'm at the museum, this is what the entity is doing, flying in circles over me at the museum. When I'm at the Starbucks and the entity is keeping the fake sun and the people of the state are stalking with impossible light activity, this is what the Ontario Police Department is doing, is gang stalking and helicopter. And the entity is doing so in video. This is in concert with the entity that is engaged in what is gang stalking, which is supposed to create the illusion of mental illness, and this is sorely mistaken. The entity is exhibiting mental illness while they're engaging in the criminal pattern of conduct, which is psychopathic and very highly demented. They're engaging in the pattern of conduct of crossing path, creating light activity and audible activity, and they're doing so while the entity sought to criminally defame my character, Jason Isaac Fields and Tracy Banks, engaging in what is criminally procuring a conservatorship while the Ontario Police Department do their part with regard to gang stalking an American citizen, which is supposed to be that which you're not able to prove, and is supposed to accomplish criminally defaming that a targeted individual. The entity is going to be subject to disbanding for this. This is relevant to Tracy Banks' criminal means of procuring a conservatorship with the gang stalking corrupt courts. The entity is doing so while they've been targeting me the whole time, and the Ontario Police Department is key engaging in that in a documented pattern of kidnapping. In addition to Jason Isaac Fields, that is a gang stalker targeting me with the Ontario Police Department in real time. Right now he is monitoring me with the police and is engaging in what is maintaining a criminal means of monitoring me with the Ontario Police Department while maintaining some secret marriage that I know nothing about, that I never participated in, while he is conspiring with me against the state and with his sex partner Tracy Banks. So he is engaging in what is being a fake spouse. Tracy Banks is engaging in being some fake conservator, where they both maintain this relationship with me unbeknownst to me, while the government, the Ontario Police Department, is engaging in what is gang stalking. Remember, gang stalking is supposed to accomplish what is defaming your character, because when you make allegations of gang stalking, you were supposed to be discarded as mentally ill. This doesn't work when you have hundreds of videos of the police department stalking in helicopter, and that's exactly what this is. This impossible light activity coexisting with the ongoing presence of the police department following me everywhere that I'm going in the city, and also as I'm documenting multiple police departments in every other city and county where I'm at. It's the Ontario Police that is going to be disbanded for kidnapping upon gang stalking with the intent to criminally defame, so that Tracy Banks and Jason Isaac Fields, the government seeks to steal real, personal, and intellectual property from me. And the Ontario Police is going to be disbanded, and this is very very clear and plain evidence of them still targeting, and they're doing it on video where I will be publishing it on the internet. It will be a public exposure and prosecution of the Ontario Police Department. That is the state of California. And this is the criminal conduct for which Jason Isaac Fields is going to federal prison. This is the criminal conduct for which Tracy Banks is subject to federal prison. And Nathan Morgan, C. Torres, L. Martinez, and you have B. Hook are gang stalking in the same way that the Ontario Police Department is using helicopters to engage in gang stalking. It's called criminal summoning. And the entity is doing so with, again, this is under no circumstances aiding in any false narrative about my character. The entity is clearly targeting and harassing in that specific environment pursuant to an ongoing long documented pattern of conduct. There's no coincidence when they're flying over my head in helicopter at the Starbucks where the entity is keeping the fake sun for the duration of the day. That is no formula for defaming the character of the targeted individual that has the presence of mind to document that pattern by that corrupt police department. The Ontario police are being disbanded. Those kidnappers on May 29th are going to federal prison. And this is the prosecution of every gang stalker that sought to profit from my demise, like Jason Isaac Fields and his sex partner Tracy Banks, who maintains no legitimate and actual conservatorship, and Jason Isaac Fields maintains no actual and legitimate marriage to me, and everything that was stolen from me while the Ontario police and the people of the state are gang stalking me is going to be returned to me with interest, and Jason Isaac Fields is going to federal prison. All right. And so is Tracy Banks. And there is no deviating from that. This is the entity that is targeting in furtherance of murder and kidnapping. That's why Jason Isaac Fields has a fake marriage on paper that I know nothing about. And Tracy Banks has a criminally procured conservatorship pursuant to gang stalking and monitoring me that I know nothing about. All right. She has never spoken of it. She has never told me of property that she sought to steal from me while she engaged in this, while she's gang stalking. That's relevant with that kidnapping that the Ontario Police Department, that's gang stalking now, committed on May 29, 2025 in concert with that police department. This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:28 p.m. The entity engaged in the same pattern of conduct last night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, 10, 11 o'clock at night, gang stalking by helicopter. And I'm documenting the ongoing pattern since the kidnapping that I was released from, where Arrowhead Regional Medical Center is acting with the state of California, gang stalking me with the police who make false assertions to engage in what is criminal defamation. That is aiding a fake conservatorship. That's aiding a fake marriage in furtherance of what is theft by the entity that is targeting. This is why the Ontario Police is being disbanded, and the ongoing gang stalking is evidence that is further establishing that. And this is under no circumstances aiding that false narrative regarding the character of the targeted individual, having direct and hard evidence and long existing evidence of criminal monitoring by the police department. This is Ontario Police engaged in what is domestic terrorism and psychological torture and furtherance of murder and kidnapping in order to criminally defame with Tracy Banks and Jason Isaac Fields in particular, while the government seeks to aid with the people of the state in stealing property, real, personal, and intellectual property. This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:29 p.m. All right, in targeting, you're not mistaken who's being targeting. This is who's being targeted. The entity is doing this while the fake sun's over the top of my head for the duration of the day. And they're targeting right now in what is light that is irreconcilable with artificial light stamps and the light activity, where I'm showing you my shadow on the side of the 7-Eleven in the dark. They're monitoring. All right. And everywhere that I'm at in Ontario, they're flying over me in helicopter and stalking by commercial planes. The Ontario Police is gang stalking me in particular in concert with the people of the state. And the impossible light activity, for example, inside of the Starbucks is the evidence of it. The entity is criminally monitoring, and the entity is providing a foolish level of volume of evidence against people like Jason Isaac Fields, who have the motive to engage in a false marriage with me because he's trying to steal from the targeted individual. He's going to prison for it. And he's targeting with the Ontario Police Department, incentivizing this public corruption. It is currently 10:30 p.m. This is P.O.C. The people of the state are gang stalking with the Ontario Police. P.O.C.